to the guest room of Dr. D. I am so excited that you all decided to stop by. On the guest room, this is a platform we have engaging, vulnerable, and yet entertaining conversations with our guests. We are so excited that you all decided to come by, and we have a special guest today, and we're going to be talking about law enforcement. Before we get started, though, I need you to go ahead and like it. I need you to go ahead and subscribe, and I need you to share and let everyone know that the guest room of Dr. D is up and running. And now for today, our guest is Officer Alan Johnson, known as Officer AJ. And here we go. Welcome.
Hey, Dr. D, thank you.
I'm so glad. I know we were running around saying, can you do this, can you do that? But you said yes. So I want you to tell our viewers a little bit about who you are, where you come from, you know, just a little bit about AJ, Officer AJ, that is.
Officer AJ, yes, I'm a native of Atlanta.
Okay.
Born and raised over in the Greenbrier area, West End and Greenbrier.
Okay.
Graduate of D.M. Thurl High School.
All right, Panthers.
That's right, Pantherville.
Okay.
Been in law enforcement 40 years now.
Wow.
A little bit more about me, I also coach baseball, softball, and tennis at Thurl High School.
Wow.
Varsity level. And we're in the season with women's softball.
Okay.
Also, I've been running a non-profit organization that deals with youth and youth violence.
Okay.
Save Our Students Academy, located on Campbellton Road in the heart of Atlanta, where most of our needed, well, I don't want to call them delinquent and need attention.
Yeah.
For our child is more advanced, but that's a little bit about me. Started off in banking and left banking and went in law enforcement.
Okay, and I remember when you said, I remember how people always want to say at risk, and I don't like that word at risk. And I like how you said needed. And I think sometimes our youth, our children, even adults, need that attention to say, hey, you can do it. It's not the way to go. There's a different route to go.
True.
And so I like how you said that, because you see this on a greater spectrum. I mean, being in this for so long, you've seen it. In law enforcement, you've seen it. I know it had to be some challenges, and we'll talk about your challenges in law enforcement when it comes to our youth. So when you talk about law enforcement, you've been in it since 40 years now, 40 years. And so you started off at, what did you start off at?
Fulton County
Sheriff Department.
Sheriff Department, then transferred from Sheriff Department went to the college environment with the Spelman.
Okay.
Left Spelman, stayed there 10 years, left Spelman and went to Fulton County PD on Old National Highway.
Okay.
Doing the helping streets over there.
Okay.
I retired from Fulton County PD, and now I'm back at Spelman trying to educate our college students.
Okay, so let's talk about the differentiations. So you started off at Fulton County in the Sheriff's Department.
Sheriff Department. So
tell our viewers, for those who don't know, because we're going to have youth watching this as well, the differences in Sheriff Department and the Police Department, because people think they're the same, but they're not.
They're totally different.
Okay.
To put it in a nutshell, police put you in the system. The sheriff maintain you while you're in the system.
Okay, all right.
That's the biggest difference.
Okay.
Officers can never assist you once you get you in the system.
Okay.
Other than court. But once you're in the system and in the facility, then the Sheriff Department takes over from there.
Okay.
That's the major difference.
So they're the ones who govern, or they're the ones who have the sole responsibility of the jail itself.
The jail itself.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because you're educating me. So in the jail, so that's the local jails, the Sheriff's Department, and that's jurisdiction, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so within the Police Department, you said that you went from the Sheriff's Department as of managing, our unfortunate ones,
yes,
to the ones that's in the streets. Okay, so therefore you had to go out on different calls.
Which is true.
Okay, so let me ask you an instance, with that being said, some of the challenges that you had to incur with that, especially with our youth, that you ever have to, address some situations. I don't like to always be negative, but address some situations with our youth, which ended up with the Sheriff's Department managing them.
Oh yeah, most definitely, especially in the juvenile system.
Okay.
And the area I had was Old National. I had from 85 all the way down to Flat Shoals Road.
Okay.
Which had all the apartments, all the businesses, all the clubs, all the schools.
Yeah.
So I did a lot with dealing with youth. The only challenge you have with youth is they don't understand that we're human too.
Okay.
I'm a father, grandfather, uncle, aunt. I mean, not aunt, uncle, best friend. You know, and the society, media has put law enforcement in a class where we're the bad guys.
Yeah.
When all officers are really not the bad guys. A lot of them are actually out to want to help.
Right.
But the media, social media, and media,
Stigma.
has got that stigma. Just like all we eat is donuts.
Right.
Or we eat chicken, collard greens,
Yeah.
and macaroni and cheese too.
Right.
You know, not just donuts. So,
Right.
society has a lot to do with that. But
Yeah.
There's a lot of challenges when you deal with youth. They think when you see the officers, all we're going to do is lock you up. And that's what most parents, I'm going to call the police on you. When kids in the store, you know, you're going to get you, you're going to take your chair. I be telling, don't tell them that, because you're putting something in them, they're going to be afraid of us when they're
Yes.
actually going to need us
That is so
in the
true.
long run. You know, so that's the only downfall that I really hate about the media side of policing.
And you said something so significant. So now you're dealing with the ramifications of society, and now you're dealing with the ramifications of home life, because how families have stereotyped our officers,
Which
you
is
know.
true.
And so now you're dealing with both spectrums. So when you go out on that call, now you got to say, I don't know what I'm up against, because what they have placed in this child's head versus what society has placed in this child's head. Now this child's gonna have to come up to me, and he got all, or she got all this going on, you know. And so let me ask you this question. With that being said, with the challenges, have you had more instances with our boys or with our girls, or has that been an equal
Well, Old National been mostly with the boys.
with the boys?
Young men, you know, when you get between that age of 13 to 17, well, no, I'm talking go back from 12 to 17, you got this testosterone levels. And, you know, they want to challenge. And Old National is a single family income, mostly females. That's actually running the home and then trying to work two jobs too, and leaving the kids or the oldest kid to babysit the youngest kid, and, you know, playing the mother father role. That's basic what we have on Old National. You know, we cover other areas too, but basically my area is really Old National. You know, and that's the majority of our calls.
And I love how you know your area. And I'm listening because I guess as an officer, you all have your briefings, you know, the morning briefings. You know, we look at this stuff bootleg from Law and Order and all this other stuff. So yeah, the protocols. And so you know your demographics of Old National. I mean, I know Old National, yes, you know, we was at the clubs over there at one point. It was popping over there. And it's still, now you see the rise in the adult activities that's happening, and of course they're now trying to clean that up over there. But seeing that our youth, like you said, our boys were more into that, want to buff up, you know, and those 12-year-olds. Off air, you and I were talking about how our middle school children, you know, particularly our boys, are really challenged with life at this point. And even from my perspective as a seeing our girls are more so, you know, they want to try to do it because they want to impress, you know, they want to do all this in front of their friends, not realizing, hey, there's a female officer there, you know, as well as a male officer as well. So it's just a matter, I think what I'm listening to and what our viewers are listening to is the respect part of it. The respect and the educating part, because now you have to deprogram them to think, hey, yeah, we're here to enforce the law, but we're not the law, you know?
Which is correct.
And so I think that families need to be educated in that sense. It's not always a negative, you know. A funny story, my niece, when she was a little girl, and she wanted to put on some fingernails. And grandma was like, no. And she was just mouthy. Now you can't get her to say 2 words, but she was real mouthy. And so my mom said something. She said, I'm going to call the police. No sooner than that, the doorbell rang, and it was Fulton County Police, and my niece freaked out. But he was only there to just do checks in the neighborhood. And she freaked out from that point on. I said, well, maybe that was a good thing, because she can't get her to say 2 words. But at the same time, you're right. We tend to do that and make officers look like that. But I remember back in my day, we had Officer Friendly who used to come to the schools, and he dispelled that. And you said something so significant, and we're going to talk about this as we proceed into our break. You said community policing. So you're doing the criminal side of it, but how was the community policing part of it when you were in law enforcement as of the police department?
But The community side of it is where you actually go out and try to educate the youth.
Okay.
I like to start with educating the youth. Because
Okay.
once you get the youth involved and get an understanding of what our duties are to protect and serve,
Right.
really to serve then protect. Once they understand the service part of it and how we can assist them in their endeavors for future, then they'll have a better respect for the officers, understand of what we can and can't do,
Right.
or what we based on the law that we bound to do.
Right.
But just because I lock you up, don't mean I can't help you when you get in.
Right.
We can also reference, send references to say, the child needs some assistance. I'd be glad to step in and be a mentor, or offer assistance that I can to help this youth to develop to a more prestigious adult.
Right.
You know, become more than what they are. Don't just look at this officer locked me up, and then that's what they stuck with. That
Yeah.
you don't want to lock me up.
Yeah.
You don't
yeah.
want to lock me up.
Exactly.
You realize, but it was for a reason.
Right.
You know, and look at you now. Just because you saw me as a negative, now look at the positive. Look what positive came out of that. You going to
Exactly.
these different programs that help you to be who you are today.
Right. And I think that's great. Like you said, they come in, they're already bitter. You know, and I think not just the bitter, they're probably embarrassed because now you're coming back to help them. I was the same one who arrested you, but now I'm here to help you. And then they probably saying, well, that ain't really how it's supposed to be, you know, because again, society or their friends have told them.
The street committee.
Yeah, the street committee. I like that. I like that, Officer AJ. The street committee has told them, no, this is how they do it, you know. And so with that being said, have you ever had instances where you had to go to court because of something our children may have done that they're in the system now, you know?
Court case. Oh, yes. I hate court.
Okay.
Especially juvenile court.
Okay.
Because you have to go that very next following day.
Wow.
And the system is, trying to say this politically correct.
Okay.
The system is not for us.
Okay.
Okay, it never was. It's basically to hurt us and to hurt the youth and put them in a negative atmosphere, because once they get that report or that arrest report on them, that arrest report will follow them the rest of their life. You know, and that's what we are trying to get away from them, get them to understand that once we write you up or put some on, once we write it down and put it on paper, it's with you for the rest of your life.
Right.
And it's gonna follow you and it's gonna hunt you and hurt you.
Yeah.
So why not try to beat that out? I mean, why not beat it out? Why not try to
Rehabilitate.
correct it now
Yeah.
before it affects you in the long run?
Right.
And most of our officers, or most of my co-officers, we try to educate, look 10 years down the line. Where would you be 10 years down the line? What would you like to be doing? Well, if you do this now, it's going to affect you, because they're going to put a background report on
Right.
you, and it's going to show that, yes, you've been incarcerated,
Right.
or yes, you've been in trouble with the law. Then you got to explain to them why this happened. And they're not, the other person not understanding, well, yeah, you was young, you was at home, other criteria that came into family life, you know, you playing the daddy and the mama, but you still the child.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of that comes into play.
Wow.
But the system, I don't like. It needs revamping.
It needs to, and that's why I tell people, you have to vote. You got to vote.
You got to vote.
You got to vote.
Yes.
And you said something so interesting. It goes back to your previous point, how they look at you in the negative, and how you said, no, I can provide the resources. And so here it is, they're going to court, and so now you got to do your role as an officer of the law, and now you have to say, now this child's mentor as well. Then when they happen to get out, because we're gonna think positive, they don't do anything that detrimental. here it is now, you're a further mentor to help them, okay? And so now they're coming to the point where they are now applying for these jobs. And the very reason and the very person they're going to call is, Officer AJ, can you help me out?
Right.
Can you help me out in this regard? And so when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about how Officer AJ not only intervenes as a mentor from the law side, but remember we talked about the community policing, but we're going to talk about his adventures and his journey in community side. So we'll be right back. Hello everyone, it's Dr. D again, and I want to just come in and tell you this really quick. Did you know that I am an author? Yes, I am. I'm an author of 2 books, Cage in a Cubicle, Spiritual Lessons, and It's Time to Own Your Truth. But our first book here, Cage in a Cubicle, Spiritual Lessons, came as a result of me working in corporate America. And with that being said, it also came as of me writing in my journal as well as my dissertation. And I couldn't believe it that I was actually living what I was writing, in a sense, in my dissertation, that is. And so here it is, it's coming now to fruition as of now writing a book. Who would have ever thought that I would be writing a book about my experiences in a cage cubicle? And every now and then, I thought the cage cubicle was there to hurt me, but in essence, it was there to protect me, and it gave me some life lessons as spiritual lessons as well. And so I want you all to be able to tune into this book. Read this book. It's really good because it can help you on so many different levels. How you can purchase this book is go to Amazon.com. The book is sold there. Hey, just help a sister out, and I look forward to being able to answer any questions you may have. Just drop me a note in the chat, and I look forward to connecting with you. Talk soon. Hello and welcome back to the guest room of Dr. D. I hope you all have enjoyed so far our guest here, Officer AJ, who is talking about law enforcement and also within our community. So now we're going to talk about community. As you heard the insides of law enforcement, how it affects our community, and more so how it affects our youth. And so now we're going to flip this thing and we're going to talk about community and how the community can take part and assist our officers in this great feat of trying to help our youth and our community. So here we go. So you talked about community policing, and you said that you pretty much try to educate our youth first, because you said something significant, that most of our youth are raising themselves, unfortunately, because of the economic situation that we're in. Some of them are coming from single mother household, where the mom is trying to work and maintain this child or children, and sometimes leave that child raising the family, and sometimes it could be the oldest one raising the middle one, or the middle one raising the oldest and the youngest one. The mom just might have to see that scope of responsibility. But when you said the community side of it, what resources do you provide or try to educate our youth on? And I like to say ours because they are ours.
They're ours. It's our future.
It's our future, our present right now.
Yeah, it's our future.
Yeah.
Well, the organization I'm in is called Save Our Students Academy.
Okay.
We are located on Campbellton Road. We offer mentoring programs, but most kids now, they have 3 main goals.
Okay.
Finish school, drive, and get a job.
Right.
So we pick up on the driving. Of course, we're going to help them finish school, education-wise. Got to finish education. But the driving aspect, we're teen driving instructors.
Okay.
So it's like all classroom for our class. Parents must attend so they understand Georgia law.
Okay.
On teen
You hear
driving.
that, parents? You have to attend.
Teens,
you can't bring them and leave them.
Yeah.
You
No
got to come.
babysitting.
No, you got to come with them.
You got
Okay.
to come with them because the parents learn something too about Georgia law.
Okay.
And drive.
Okay.
Because most teenagers will learn from watching their parents drive.
Yeah.
And the parents don't have, I can't do it because I'm too nervous. But you're driving, they're actually watching what you do.
Exactly.
And that's one of the main points we pushing that they're actually watching you.
Right.
And following, mimicking what you do.
Absolutely.
No. Talking on the phone, eating while drinking, distracted driving, all this considered just distracted driving. And they're doing that same thing.
Right.
So we do teen driving. So I'm going to try to do a fishing program.
Okay.
Because in high school, Georgia, bass fishing is now high school sports.
Oh, is it?
Yes. So we're trying to teach them how to live off the land also.
Okay.
And in
agriculture.
in
I see that,
agriculture.
Georgia's
in that
agriculture,
part, in that part, you get to learn how to fish, but then also come with fishing comes responsibility of boating, because you got to be able to learn to operate a boat, and swimming,
Right.
all that, and that's what the other education aspects that we use to help.
Okay.
As you see that there's other opportunities out there other than baseball, football, and basketball.
And the streets.
And the streets.
Yeah.
You know, there are the technical sides of things,
Right.
the logistic sides of the sports. You know, umpiring, officiating.
Yeah.
You know, scorekeeping.
Yeah.
Media transition. It's a lot
Right.
out there other than just
The typicals.
just run.
Right.
We do more than we as a people can do more than just run.
Right.
You know, but community-wise, that's and we do a lot with community service.
Okay.
For us, helping the kid, helping the youth. I don't say kid, helping the youth understand that the environment you're in, you're supporting that environment, and by you supporting the environment, you got to understand that we want the businesses to also give back to the community and help.
right.
Of course, you're in that same school. The schools do their part. They're tied. Government are tied, but parents have to get involved. I mean, it starts at home. The parents have to get involved, see what's out there in the community that can help them to help their child or
Right.
their youth. Once they find that out, then they say, "Oh, what? I didn't know that, but you got anything for us?" So yeah, we
that's
say, "Oh yeah,
good.
we give parent parents just give typing. Even typing is pretty much out right now, but
No, they still have to use that
we
computer,
still use
yeah.
typing, the computer. 10 key by touch,
Yeah.
accounting,
Right.
stuff that you actually need when you when they get out into
the real world.
You know,
I like how you said that, but Officer AJ, explain to us, how do you get the students into SOS, Save Our Students Academy? How do you get them into that?
well, most of them come through it's two ways. The juvenile system bring them,
Okay.
get them in, or the school system.
Okay.
Then you got some parents that will learn about the program, say, I want my child to be involved in this.
Right.
I like the program, I like what you're doing. You and also so you understand the law. And I pretty much tell them, your child is my child. You treat your child just like I treat mine.
Exactly.
Get out of line, we're going to put them back in line.
Right, right.
You know, this village is going to raise the village.
That's right. Like we said, old school coming back to new
yeah.
school. It's gonna come up. Yes. yes.
Totally old school.
Okay.
Okay. It's totally old school. And once the parents feel you, they hear what you're saying, but they have to actually get to feel what you're saying and actually look at you and say, okay, I like that.
Right.
You know, I feel what you're saying. I can see how this program, or you per se, or you know some people that can help my youth get better.
Okay.
And it's males and females.
Right.
You know,
Wow.
we don't discriminate. We don't discriminate. And they come from all parts of the county.
Right,
All parts of-
okay.
we don't discriminate.
So it's just not in the metro Atlanta,
just in
it's just in
metro.
all the parts of counties.
A youth in need, come in need.
Okay. That's what SOS is.
It's about saving our students.
That's right.
Because that's our future.
Yeah. And I tell people that, and I think that's a great program because we need intervention programs.
Yes.
We need intervention programs. And I think that so many programs are so focused on having a silo that I don't want you to take away from me, but it's all about collaborations. Because if I can't meet that need of that child, I got a resource that can. And check this, I'm going to follow up to ensure that this child is receiving those resources that they need at the time. And I like the fact that you say you have a component for the parents or the guardians. You have a component for them, because most parents now, those who are heavily involved, they want to know, how can they be involved?
how can they be involved?
And then how do you reach the parent that want to but don't know how to go about it, because they feel like I've now dropped the ball on my child, when in essence you haven't, because it's like we say we're community.
Most parents, well, in my experience, they actually wasn't exposed to it.
That's deep.
You know,
That's deep.
So now,
That's deep.
so now you have to teach. We help the child teach the parent.
Wow.
Because the good book said, "And the child shall
Should lead them.
So that's the aspect we do that. Hey, have your mama come in and do this, with your parents or your mother or your father, and then see how they react. And then once the parent sees the difference of how the child reciprocates to them, then they say, hey, what y'all doing that then we, oh, wait, mom, we just tried, you know, you knew it, you just didn't have the resource available to know how to do it. You have to change your wording.
Yes.
And that's basically what we tell them, you know, change the way you speak sometimes. Don't stick with the game buster stuff.
Yeah.
Change if you change the way you speak, you change the way you think. And that make you a whole better person. Then when the parents see that, and they will eventually pick up on that, and they will help the child build themselves also.
And you said something, I was going to lead up to the next question, the positives and some of the positive results that you've seen. That's one of them. As the child now educating the parent, and you can see that the parent is now changing the way they speak to that child.
Which is true.
Now, how have your success rates been with that program, SOS, as of seeing a diversion? You know, this child has totally turned around from when they came in here bucking up, talking back. You know how teenagers do, and preteens, you know. And parents too, you know.
Parents too.
So what has been your success rate? Tell our viewers, how has your success rate has been with that?
Well, we've been in existence since 1994, and we're still up and operating. It's a 50-50.
Okay.
I can't say we can't say we
90-10.
10,
right.
You know, it's a 50-50 because
Okay.
it actually depends on the parent.
Right.
You know, we can only inform the child. We can't make them. The parents have to, because they're only with us maybe 5-6 hours.
Okay.
They with the parents the rest of the time.
Yeah.
And it has a lot to do with educating the parents.
There's parents. Okay.
You know, it's a lot, and convincing and letting the parents know that you got help. You just have to open your mouth and ask, and it shall come to you. But we as a people are so big on our pride that I don't need, I can do it by myself.
Right.
I do that when times get hard. Then they want, well, that I couldn't find nobody. I couldn't. And I tell the students, couldn't and can't. It's not in your vocabulary
It's not
at all.
No, even as adults, no.
Yeah, because there are programs and other people, individual and groups, that it truly wants to help.
Right.
And some of them don't know how.
Right.
But if they see a youth that's in need, just walk up to them and talk to them.
And talk
Just
to them.
General conversation. That's something we, as a generation of people, we have gotten out of just general conversation.
Genuine at that.
Yeah, genuine. It's there they go.
Here they come.
You think something in trouble.
Exactly.
You know, and texting, you know,
Yeah.
social media and texting. But if we just actually have a real conversation with the students about how they feel and how they view things and see things, then as a community, we can better understand what media is putting out there to our youth.
Right. And let's switch gears when you said that. Now you're running from our children, youth, now you got the college students.
Yeah, I got the college students.
At the famous Spelman College. How has that been? Because that's an all-girls campus.
Yes.
All ladies campus.
All female campus. We just
So how has that been as of educating our young women?
Well, I pretty much do the same thing.
Okay, same thing. Okay.
Because we got a lot of basic, me and the other officers basically deal with the freshman group.
Okay.
Because you get more of them coming at the same time.
Yes.
And we try to tell them that, okay, now you're in college now. Say, well, you graduate from high school? Say, yeah. So we leave that high school mentality. Back at high school, think the next level up. But now you're in college. Think more of college level. And don't think 5 years out. Think 10 years out.
Yeah.
Because this experience you're having now, it's going to affect you 10 years from now.
Wow.
And you're going to go back and say, wow, I never thought about that.
I had a wild college life, but now it's catching up with me. I'm trying to get a job with a prominent company. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I'm trying to run for president.
Yeah.
You know,
that's true.
It's coming back and hunting me.
That's true.
You know, only because of some misunderstandings, ain't mistakes, some misunderstandings you had growing up in that environment.
Right.
But basically, we do the same thing. Talk to a youth. I mean, we have to talk. Generally, talk. And know that even though we're in law enforcement, we're still daddies, mothers, aunts, and uncles, and aunties.
And I think that too, Officer AJ, when you said that, what it starts with is trust too.
Trust.
They have to know they can trust you because you have a rapport with those ladies at Spelman. You have a rapport with our youth, and they have to first. You know how, like you said, as a people, we like this. I don't know you.
Hobo.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know you. But then when they get to know you, like you said, I'm real. And when you say, I have grandchildren, I have children, I have grands, and I get down on that level just like I'm talking to you. And when they see the transparency, and I'm not just saying word only transparency because we use that word so loosely, but when they see the transparency, and if they can witness that, that, hey, this happens, this is for real, then that make them more apt to say, I can trust him, I can go to him, I can call him when I need him. Mm-hmm. There are other officers, I'm sure, on campus, and I'm sure they always have a professional relationship with our ladies on campus, but when they know that, it takes a while because society has, like you said, stigmatized you all. Mm-hmm. Then you have young ladies you're dealing with, and you have male officers. I'm sure you have female officers. And there may be times where the female officer may not be around, and it has to be that male officer. But at the same time, you've now established that rapport with not only the administrators, but now those students, and you've given them too those real life lessons, that now you're in college, you're totally grown now. We don't say adults, you're totally grown now. So you have to leave that mentality behind. And so I'm just glad that you share, you drop some nuggets. I mean, like I said, offline, you were teaching me some stuff about what we were talking about, but it has helped me to understand really the differences, how to nutshell the word sheriff's department, police department, community policing versus our street policing. I want to say, because you got to deal with the streets more so the community, and how you are able to help our youth as well as, like you said, educate and just genuinely talk to our children and our youth and just gain their trust. But gaining their trust means that you got to act on it, because like you said, they watching their mom and daddy drive, they watching you too. So you all, I hope that you all have enjoyed this particular series, this is episode that is, of talking with Officer AJ here in the Metro Atlanta area. I'm going to have Officer AJ give you all his contact information, and maybe you all want to donate to his organization, Save Our Students Academy, as well as contact him if you have greater needs for your children or someone that is what you say. What was the word? Not at risk. We don't say that. Those who are
at need.
In need. And so, Officer AJ, would you just let our viewers know your contact information?
Yes, the name of the program is Save Our Students Academy, located at 2262 Campbellton Road, right next to the YMCA, Atlanta, Georgia 30310. Our phone number is 404-553-1877. That's 404-553-1877. Or go to our website at sosa1.com. Okay.
All right, you have an email address?
Email is Save Our Students Academy, Yahoo, Gmail, Hotmail.
All of them. All right. So again, thank you so much for coming to the guest room with Dr. D. And we're going to be hearing more about you later on, because we're going to have some more. We're going to have a series. I want to have us, my producer, if he allows that, to have a series of a panel. We can have our different law enforcement from different metro areas to come out and speak. So we look forward to that. So again, this is Dr. D with the guest room. I want to say thank you, and remember to like, share, and subscribe. Until then, see you later. Hello, everyone. It's Dr. D again, and I am so excited to be back before you. I wanted to let you know I have another book. I've written another book, and it's called It's Time to Own Your Truth. This is a 31-day motivational book for you all to read to carry you throughout your day. Now, you may be asking, Dr. D, how did this book come about? It came about after a supervisor told me to be intentional about what I want to do as of my career, and also intentional about what I want to do with my life. Now, I knew what I wanted to do about my life, but about my career, he said, you have to make the move to be able to do what you have to do, D. And so this book came as a result of that, but it also came as a result of me sitting in a coaching class. I was in a training class, and so therefore the title came to me. It's time to own your truth as of your calling, your purpose, D, and what's driving you to do what you do best. And so here it is. It came about in a 31-day motivational book of 31 chapters for each day of the week for you to be able to engross and get in deep detail with who you are. So again, purchase this book. It's time to own your truth, and you can purchase this book on Amazon.com. I look forward to you all supporting and purchasing. And again, Amazon.com. It's time to own your truth. Talk soon.